and entrepreneurship. He's a serial entrepreneur who's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, MIT, and NASA. He spent his lockdown, very interesting. He spent his lockdown at a safari lodge called Zebra Crossing. And that's where his dream of helping 10 million startups was solidified. He's got 27 years of business experience and insights that he has poured into this dream. And this dream is called the Startup Tribe, which is a platform that gives practical guidance on how to start and grow your business through numerous impact-driven courses. You know, York, I might actually take one of those courses myself. It's quite amazing what you've done on that platform. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give it up for Mr. York Zucchi. Before you start, York, I was on your Twitter last ZP, and he posted something quite thought-provoking last night. He said, the difference between an aspiring entrepreneur and a great entrepreneur is how they handle pressure. So he advises that we need to learn how to handle pressure. COVID has taught us we need to learn how to handle the pressure. So today he'll be sharing with us what we can do to access digital markets and what free online resources we can access to generate leads for our businesses. Let's give it up for the one and only Mr. York Zucchi. York, thank you so much. It's over to you.
It's an absolutely pleasure to be here today, and thank you for inviting me. But perhaps more importantly, thank you to everybody for investing your time. And time is a resource. So thank you for investing your time in this session. This is not a session about York or the Startup Tribe. This is a session to help you start to find clients and grow your business. So the whole point of today's session is really about generating leads for you. Because as you know, the cliche goes, without clients, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Now, I don't know all of you, of course. I don't know your backgrounds, your circumstances, where you live and so forth. But a lot of what I will be teaching today, well, showing you today, are practical things you can do immediately to start generating leads. None of the things that I mentioned cost any money. They don't require you to sign up for things or buy things or download apps, I think. But in any case, there's no money needed. What I'm going to show you is a lot of the things that work and some of the things that don't work, but we've learned from our work supporting small businesses in over 83 countries. So you're going to get a lot of insights today. So I suggest, I don't know how you work. I work with paper and pen. Grab yourself a paper and pen. We've got 1.5 hours. So I'm even going to take my jacket off. So let's make ourselves really comfortable, everyone. Everybody, grab a paper and pen if you can, or if you want, write it on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a lot of things. And I think these videos are recorded. But the session of today is really how to find clients and grow your business. Now, it would help me enormously if in the chat box you would write if you're a startup, if you're at idea phase, startup, or small business phase, or growing, just to give me a sense of how many of you are still thinking. Startup means you still have an idea, you haven't quite yet have idea phase means you're still thinking about the idea. Startup is early days. Maybe you have 1 or 2 clients. Growth is you have 20 or more clients and then whatever. So please write in the comments box what you are. So it gives me a sense of your backgrounds. And then I can also use more examples that are relevant to you. But really today is about finding clients. And one of the things that I discovered in my research and in my work with thousands of entrepreneurs is a really idea phase, startup phase, awesome growing phase. Thanks, Harvey. Thanks, Andile. And one of the things that I really discovered is that actually there is a science to finding clients. And I'm going to tell you what the science today is. This is not a theoretical exercise. So I'm just going to explain it to you in 30 seconds. And then we're going to deep dive into practical things you can do immediately. Now, I'm looking at all your comments, still in idea phase, in a startup transitioning into growing phase. Well done. So, guys, whether you are a startup or, whether you're in the idea phase, a startup, or a growing phase, this session today is valuable to all of you. The only difference for the three different categories is that maybe in the idea phase, you're not looking for clients. What you're looking for is for people who are interested in the products or services that you are about to create, that you're thinking of. Because it's much easier when you do go live with your products and services when you have already a list of 50 or 200 people who are interested in them. So a lot of the lesson can be applied from the idea phase well through to the growth phase. I'll also show you some tricks. I sit on a couple of government funds that help startups in South Africa. So I'm very happy to show you some tricks on how you can get funding and financing for your business, even if you don't have a big history behind you. But I'll show you that at the end. So let's get started. Everybody ready? So let me start with the theory or the challenge that most of you probably experience. Now, what happens in the real world? You sell, let's say, websites, clothes, jackets. You sell services, gardening, lawn mowing, rubbish disposal. You have furniture manufacturing. It doesn't matter what you sell. You sit in this pocket with a couple of friends. This pocket, this network can be friends in Diepsloot, in Sandton, in Cape Town, can be your friends from high school, can be a co-working or incubator space. It could be people you hang out with. You are, let's say, for the sake of this example, you are in this pocket with these people, and you are you do beautiful interior designs for shops to make it more appealing for people to buy. In this pocket sits York, me, and I'm sitting and I'm chatting to Sam Apata, and we are having a chat about opening a new store, and we're getting very excited. Now, do you see what the problem is? You are over here, but you cannot be in this conversation. You don't have access to this network. You don't have a foot in the door. This is really the problem with access to markets. Access to market means finding clients, accessing a new market. The access to market challenge is an access to networks. You're here in this network and you want to actually be in this network over here. So how do we get you to have your foot in the door to this network? How can you be part of millions of conversations out there where they're discussing the kind of opportunities that might be relevant to you? So let's go into how that works. I'm going to show you practical things you can do immediately to be part of multiple networks. What we're going to create today is a concept called an engagement bridge. It's exactly what the name says. You're in this network. You want to be part of this network or many other networks. You might have a financial solution that you want to sell to banks. So what I'm going to show you now is how to create an engagement bridge. How do you go to make sure that your foot is in other people's networks so that you are always top of mind when people are talking about opportunities? For example, an architect is chatting with various people around a new project that they want to build, a hotel, a shopping center. And you are an interior decorator, you are a garden landscaper, you do electrical fittings, you are a plumber, whatever your background may be, you have a cool technology solution app for measuring traffic in a shopping center. How do we ensure that you know about that opportunity, that you are top of mind, meaning that when the architect and those people meet and discuss the opportunity, and they say, we need actually the plumbing. Oh, hold on, I was just about to think about my Lodley or York or whoever. So this is what I'm going to show you. So the first thing I'm going to invite you is to really think, and it's the foundation of everything, about what you solve. Now, what do I mean by that? You may be a website designer or the website developer. That's great, but there's a million other website developers. Absolutely not interesting. What you do. What you solve, however, might be much more interesting. Imagine if instead of saying I'm a website developer, I say, hey, everybody, I help small shop owners to go online and sell more. Now, I'm still using the website development as the tool to do that, but it's not what I'm selling. So the question to you is really, what is it that you're selling? And this is where I invite you to really think hard about this. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. It doesn't matter if you don't get it perfect today, but what you're selling really isn't 2 pages. It's one paragraph. A paragraph is even too long. One sentence. Remember what I said about the website developer. Maybe you're a landscaper. Maybe you're not a landscaper. Maybe, when you do gardens, beautiful gardens, maybe what you do is you help people who want to sell their houses to make the garden look even better so the house gets more money. You see where I'm going with this? You want to frame what you do in terms of what you solve. You want to solve the customer's problem. Now, you might argue, no, but the customer knows what. No. The customer doesn't understand difficult marketing sentences. In plain English or in plain whatever language your customers speak, define what you solve. And now I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with that. Let's assume you solve something. And so, by the way, you're going to feel uncomfortable with this because we are all entrepreneurs and we all want to feel very important. And what I'm asking you right now is to put yourself in a box. I'm not asking you to be the CEO, the chairperson, the founder of a company with a cool name, with the marketing, thing, which is complicated and nobody understands. What problem are you solving? And that means putting yourself in a box. Exactly. Thanks, Sam. In plain English, tell the client what you solve. And here is the crux of it. When you make it easy for people to understand what you solve, 2 things happen. The one is people know when to call you. So you're not getting, you're not making these funny posts on Facebook and they attract 100 likes, but it's 100 people you don't care about. They're not potential clients of yours. So why are you wasting time with them? What you want is not the 100, 500, 10,000. What you want is the 5, the 15, the 30 people who read what you solve and said, that's exactly what I need. I am going to call him or her. The second thing that happens when you make it easy for people to understand what you solve is that people know when to refer you. I challenge you to ask your friends to describe what exactly you do. And I'll bet you, for many of you, they go, oh, I'm not sure. He's a CEO of something. He's a founder of a funny company name that I don't understand. So when people don't understand what you do, and they are another network discussing an opportunity, how are they going to remember you? How are they going to introduce you? Okay. So you've got to make it incredibly easy for people to refer you. Now, I know a lot of us wear multiple hats. We got a car wash, we got a mechanic store, we got a coffee shop. It doesn't matter what, we wear multiple hats. Decide which one you want to lead. You cannot run multiple business. Now, if all of them are bringing a little bit of cash, compliments to you. But one day you're going to have to start deciding where your focus is and where you're going to channel the energy. Because we are not going to be successful if we take a shotgun approach to life. Shotgun, the rifle which shoots bullets in every direction. What we need is a hunting rifle, one targeted bullet to the right type of clients. That is what we're discussing today. So let's assume, and this is really Thanks. Well, yeah, ask your friends, ask your family. Really, it's a very simple test. Do on Facebook, post it on Facebook and say, guys, I'm just asking, does anybody actually know what I do for a living? What I solve? And you'll be surprised. And it's okay to be embarrassed. And it's okay. By the way, it took me years and I'm still refining what I solve every single time. So don't think you're going to get it like this in 10 minutes, it's done. It's a work in progress. And now I'm going to show you what we're going to do. This is exciting. I'm going to have fun with you. So what you're going to do with this little sentence, and it doesn't matter. If you've got a pen and paper, write down now a sentence. I help small businesses. I design very cool cups for restaurants that want to stand out. I create or I sell phone covers for people who are in the sun a lot, who want to leave their phone on the table, and it charges on the back. I don't know what it is, but my point here is whatever what it is that you solve in one sentence, we are now going to use that sentence, that statement, in a number of ways to start generating leads. The first one is very simple. I ask you, how many of you send emails? Probably quite a few of you. It just may be a short email here, forwarding a document to somebody, sending message to a friend, a calendar invite, sending an invoice, whatever the case, a proposal, sending a quote, following up. Every email that you send is an opportunity to sell. Think about it. If you looked at your inbox, if you open your tablet phone, your email, and you look at the bottom of your email, so I take this, and obviously not an email, but at the bottom there's your signature, right? Now, every time you send out an email, if at the bottom, instead of just saying your name, your cell phone number, how important you are, your title, your company name, and so forth, every email you send has a signature. Remember, you do this once and it's automated. That says, are you struggling with finding clients? Then come to one of York's workshops. Or are you thinking of selling your house? Then contact me on how I can make your garden add more value so that the buyer spends more and you get more money out of it. That was horrible, but you get my point. Is your garden rubble piling up? Call me and let me show you how cheaply I can take your garden rubble away. You know what my point here is? Every email you send is an opportunity to sell, guys. And this is providing an integrated platform for Africa's need. Okay, sorry. So thank you for that. But I want you to get away from marketing mumble jumble. Forgive me for being so straight and direct. I know it sounds fancy, integrated, Pan-African thing, but I want you to find something that speaks to the human being on the other line. Would you react if you received an email like that? Exactly. Use simple language. Thank you for that. Now I really want you to write it in plain. Imagine you explaining it to your niece or to your daughter. What do you do, Daddy? What do you do, Uncle? And you say, well, I do integrate a solution for Pan-African, sorry, I'm not mocking you specifically. I did the same mistakes. No, I want you to be very crystal clear. And then what you're going to do, test it out, put it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and says, hey, friends, I've been in the business, or I have a business idea, and I just want to reframe what I solve. Can I ask your help? What do you guys think about the statement? Would it make you want to contact me if you needed that solution? And then see how people react. And then you change it. And when you change a word, change a sentence, rephrase it. I tell you, I started with a big paragraph about what I solve, and my friends helped me collapse it down to one sentence. Thank you, Sandra. I provide an affordable platform for local small businesses. Now, I love that. That's already much more, but you are describing it in a high level, what I provide. Speak to your customer. Speak to your customer. Say, are you a small business? Are you a spaza shop owner? Are you a local operator? What are you, a service provider? Or I can help you find more clients. Speak to the human being behind that business, because we businesses don't do business with business. People do business with people, speak to humans. So we were where I invited you to make yourself vulnerable. Put up on the internet, ask friends what they think, have them mock you, have them criticize you, get the punches. There's a beautiful saying, excuse me, there's a beautiful saying that I'm fond of, which says, entrepreneurs are neither made nor born. Entrepreneurs are panel beaten. And so you got to take some punches. This is what she was referring to when she introduced me with the tweet from last night. Everyone has pressure. We are all under pressure. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are in the entrepreneurial space, you will inevitably face dark and difficult days. But I'm telling you now, those who are going to be successful are the ones who start to learn the tools on how to cope with pressure. And I'm not here to teach you that. There's 1,000 fantastic tech talks, videos, YouTube clips, seminars that you can watch to learn. And really, it's a skill to learn how to cope with the dark days that you have. But I compliment you for wanting to be an entrepreneur. I come from, in my research, it shows that the future of business, the future of work isn't finding a job. It's what you are doing, starting your own business, grabbing destiny by the horns and owning your own future. It doesn't mean it's easy. But if we can get clients, I promise you it'll be a little bit easier. So let's go back to the workshop. I'm sorry, I'm half Italian. My mind wanders all over the place. So let's talk about what you're going to do with the what do you solve. Nice, by the way. I fix all electrical appliances. A nice one. You can see, by the way, by sharing, you can actually learn from each other. So if you see somebody who's got a statement, feel free to comment if you have a better solution or idea for how they can rephrase it a bit differently. We entrepreneurs are brothers and sisters. We're a family. We've got to stick together and help each other. So please comment on each other, help each other. Let's help each other. I'm not commenting yet on all of them. I will a little bit later, just because I need to focus right now. So what are we going to do with the sentence, with what I solve? And this is where it gets fun. Now, how many of you are, well, I can't ask it like this, but if you can post, what platforms are you using? Are you using LinkedIn? Just write L. Are you using Facebook? Just write F. Are you using Twitter? Just write T. So just write F, L, T if you're using all three. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just type it just so that I get a sense of LFG. What's G? Whatever it is, cool. Instagram, fantastic. Facebook, awesome, thank you. FLT, perfect. FLTL, wonderful, wonderful. F and Instagram, awesome. Okay, so it's with Google. I forgot about Google. Thank you very much. It's a very powerful platform that people ignore. Google Maps as well. Thank you for that. So this is where it gets interesting. Now, imagine, and this is a fun part, imagine you have a house. It doesn't matter if you live in a township, in a shack, if you live in a tent, if you live under a bridge, if you live in a stunning house on a farm, it really doesn't matter. For right now, I want you to imagine you have a big house with this big wall on the main road with thousands of cars passing by every day, okay? Now, and that wall is blank, nothing that wall. And yet you are an entrepreneur. You know what you solve. I would kick your backsides. This is prime real estate sitting there not doing anything, right? Would you be angry with the person who doesn't write on the wall that they are you having plumbing issue? Call me now. Imagine thousands of cars passing in front of a wall every day, and then one day somebody has a plumbing issues. On the way back, it gets a WhatsApp from the wife, a family that says, all the plumbing is broken, call a plumber. And just you're driving past and you see the wall that says, is your plumbing giving you a problem? Call me now. Is your water bill too high? Call me now. I'll help you reduce your water bill. Are you wasting too much on electricity? Call me now. You see where I'm going with this? That's real estate. Now, why did I use the example of the wall? Well, it's because all of you said you are on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Instagram, amongst the many. Now, if I went into your LinkedIn, I'm just going to use LinkedIn and Facebook for now, but what I'm telling you is applicable to all platforms. If I went to your platforms, at the top, the banner, or the Facebook banner, right? Or your LinkedIn banner, what does it say? That's the same real estate. That's the same wall that I was telling you about with thousands of cars driving past. What are you using that piece of real estate to generate leads? Are you? I'll bet you are not. If I looked at all the LinkedIn profiles out there, and you're most welcome to add me on LinkedIn, I'll even have a look at yours. But if I look at all your banners, they're probably blank. They're probably either an image or something motivational, but it's nonsense. You don't have time to be motivational or blank. That's prime real estate you guys and girls are not using. What is wrong? I want you to take your paintbrush and paint your wall with what you are selling. What is the call to action? You want clients. Every opportunity out there should be taken by you to generate leads, to find clients, to remind the world what you're selling. Exactly. Are you using your digital banners effectively? I love that. Thank you. That's a beautiful way. I'm going to plagiarize you for my next talk. So, this is the fun part. Do you guys know a free tool called Canva? Canva.com. Canva.com. There's many tools, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to use that one. But I'm going to speak to Canva because it's free, totally free, and it's incredibly powerful. Now, if you go to canva.com, you will, Canva is the future. Okay, so we got a Canva fan. My point here is if you go to canva.com, there's a little search button and you type, let's say LinkedIn. You type in LinkedIn banner in the canva.com. Thanks, Sam. So you type in LinkedIn banner and it gives you hundreds, if not thousands, of pre-made templates, which are completely free, which you can just click and edit. And when you edit, and what do? You replace the picture with a picture of your business, what you do. If you're gardening landscape, use one where you are gardening or an end product. If you're technology, show your customers using it. You can even stage a picture. Spend an hour trying to get the right picture. If you are an accountant, have yourself doing the books or shaking the person's hand of your clients with a sign saving money and time. Have a cool picture that really, really captures the essence of what you solve. And then in the text of this banner, write what you solve. Again, you're speaking to an individual person. Hi, are you struggling with your books at the end of a year? Are you spending too much money? Are you losing a lot of electricity at home? Is your water consumption through the roof? I can help. Are your children not growing up? Do you want your children to grow up properly? Buy my juices. I don't know. I just saw a juice advert on the juice comment just now. So my point here is your LinkedIn banner, your Facebook banner, your Twitter banner, your Instagram banner, all of them, you do them once and they're there for life. Even your email signature, make it a banner, make it interesting, exciting, eye-catching. Create a beautiful email signature, beautiful banner. And I'm going to show you just now how we're going to drive traffic to your profiles. But it's no point driving traffic to your profile. 500 people come and visit your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook page, and you lose them because, as you know, people's attention is zero or a couple of microseconds. So what's the point of making all the effort, which I'll show you how just now, of bringing people to you, and then you lose them? You're not converting them. This is why the banner plays such a crucial role. Now you can make a banner which is a cold sale, or you can make a banner which is more call to action, which is more about passion, what you're passionate about. For example, I'm passionate about helping startups find clients so that they can be self-sustainable, they can grow their business, they can feed their families. You might be passionate about saving people electricity or saving people water. leaks, saving people from high water bills at the end of the month by fixing their leaks, because you're passionate about saving the world, saving the environment. Somebody else might be passionate about the potential of small businesses growing into Africa. That's why you created the Pan-African platform for small businesses. Whatever the case is, you can reframe something from I'm selling this to you to this is what I solve because I'm passionate about that. So it's really up to you. And I'm passionate about music. That's great, but don't forget to mix it in with what you're selling, what your call to action is. You're passionate about music, that's great. So am I. So what? So make it with the hook. And that's why it's quite complicated to get it right. It took me, I told you, quite a long time to get it right. And when you get it right, the funny thing is your business has now grown to a different type of business. And just a side note, all of you probably know Amazon, right? The big global e-commerce giant. You know, the problem with Amazon is that we think Amazon is the same when it started to the same way it's today. Amazon is not the same Amazon from years ago. Amazon, the only thing that stayed the same is the name. The business model change, the size, the complexity, the operation change. So don't expect the description that you use about what you solve to stay the same for the rest of your lives. It will adapt. Keep changing it. Okay, and by the way, so I'm looking at Lucky Mavuzo, the video of Lucky. You know, one of the things that I love is, I don't have it in front of me, do I? Yes, I do. 1 second. So Lucky, Lucky, you disappeared with the video. But what I'm saying is, you know, I have a shirt that often wear in my workshops. This shirt was 160 Rand. Create your own shirts. There's tons of phenomenal people. Use every opportunity. Use your body to advertise what you solve. Get people. You have no idea how many people stop me in the street when I'm walking or playing soccer or something and say, that's interesting. What is it about? But you see on the back, it has a call to action, own your destiny, and then it has my website. So don't forget, it's got to drive leads to somewhere. And this is the important part. So you have gone, you've created, where are we now? You've created the what you solve, and maybe it's mixed with the ingredients of what you're passionate about. Share it on social media and let people give you harsh feedback. Really let them pummel you. Let them give you honesty. So it's better to have honesty now than spend 2 years looking for clients and you're not making traction because nobody was honest. Honesty is the best compliment you can get from an entrepreneur. It's not easy, but it's the best gift somebody can give you. So you've created what you solve. You've gone on to Canva. You've created the banners for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for Twitter, for Google. Yeah, Google has a banner too. For your Google Maps presence, for your Snapchat account, or what is it, TikTok, you created the banners. Now, whenever people visit you, the first thing they see is what's happening. When you post a picture of you playing soccer of your children or something funny, the first thing they see is your banner, and they are reminded of what you solve. And in business, in marketing, repetition that's why you see all these adverts. It's just the same adverts over and over again, for which people are paying millions. Repetition is what helps people remember what to call you. And you want qualified leads to call you. Do you know what qualified means? It means that analogy I gave at the beginning. You don't want 1,000 people messaging and saying, I'm not sure what you do, but I like the sound of it. You want the 10 people who say, I like what you do. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's talk, right? Good. Now, what are we going to do it's all very good that we got these different platforms, and now what are we going to do? What are we going to do to attract people's attention? Now I'm going to give you 3 tricks, actually quite a lot more, but they bounce on the 3 main ideals. Have you guys got pen and paper in front of you, or a phone or a tablet or a laptop? If you do. If you don't, not the end of the world. I suspect this video is recorded so you can watch it again. But what I'm going to invite you to do is to do 3 things. We're going to focus with the first one, which is I want you to learn the art of sharing what you are working on. What do I mean by that? Now, when I don't know, look, I'm a foreigner in South Africa and I love South Africa. I think South Africa is one of the most awesome countries. And I think right now a lot of amazing things are happening which are going to turn the country into the country that it should be, and given up where everybody has an equal opportunity. But one of the things that frustrates me about you is that you do this with your business. You don't share. You don't talk about it. You don't express it to others. Are you scared that people are going to steal your idea? You know, nobody's going to quit their job if they have a job, or quit their business and just copy you and do that. Think about your business. How much effort and energy does it take to create your business, to create your idea, to do all the marketing, to find clients? It's not easy. It's not just, hey, I have an idea and everybody's going to copy it. So move away from there. Somebody's going to steal my idea, and go to the mentality, somebody might steal my idea. Who cares? I'm going to have more clients than they are. So I invite you to start learning to share more what you're working on. Now, what do I mean by share what you're working on? Give you an example. I'm currently working with the mayor of Modimolle, which is a municipality in Limpopo, to create an initiative to help township entrepreneurs, blah, 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 blah. And here's the 3 things that I learned. Now, what have I done when I shared what I'm working on? You have one, I actually told you a little story. I'm sharing with you, 1, what I do, 2, who I work with, and 3, what problems we're trying to solve, and 4, the learnings that I have. So I'm also adding value when you read my post on LinkedIn or on Facebook. When you remember, you don't need to give away names or confidential thing. I could have just said the same thing as, I'm currently working with the mayor of a large municipality to tackle unemployment in the township by creating more opportunities for people to become entrepreneurs. And I've learned 3 things, 2 things, 5 things. You see what I'm doing? I'm giving you an example subliminally. I'm telling you, these are the people I work with. This is what the problem that I solve, tackling unemployment. And the clients I'm looking for are municipalities. Now, I can share 1 post every day, but I wouldn't. I do every 3 days. That's my rule of thumb. Every day people get tired and they start unfollowing you. You want every 3 to 5 days. Choose 3 days with a nice picture. I'll always put a picture. Hopefully something about me working with the client, or about the mayor, or about the township, or the location, whatever. But I put something that catches people's attention. My posts are usually very short. I say, this is what I'm working on, and these are the 3 lessons that I learned. So that, because people are not interested in reading 6 pages or 25-minute vlog. Okay. So when you share what you're working on, you're giving people an opportunity to understand the kind of projects that you do, what you solve, and who your clients are. Now, they don't realize it, but what you're doing is actually brainwashing them into becoming clients, or in remembering, because people remember stories much more, in remembering, so that the next time that they are, you remember, you're in this network, when they're talking about opportunities in this network, for example, Gauteng province is talking about tackling unemployment with all the people who have been fired due to COVID. Somebody remembered my story and says, you know what, I seem to remember York did something with another municipality. Why don't we call York? And they called me, and voila, you have now an engagement bridge. That's what you're trying. And now it's somebody who's qualified. I may not be competent to tackle the whole of Johannesburg, but I now can have a conversation. Excuse me. So on that note, the second thing that I encourage you to start sharing is, indeed, sharing creates engagement for your bridges. And next, become vulnerable. Make yourself vulnerable. And what I mean by this is, I want you to start sharing what you're struggling with. Now, in your business, sorry, there's a loud noise outside. I hope you guys can still hear me. But in your business, you are probably struggling with something. Now, I'm not talking about a major struggle or a generic struggle like, hey, I need money, or I don't know how to start, or whatever the case may be. You are struggling with, hey, I'm growing tomatoes in Limpopo, and I have a client. I need to bring him to a fresh goods market in Johannesburg, but I don't have money for a bakkie. How is there anybody out there who's got spare capacity on a bakkie who can bring it down to Johannesburg for me in exchange of something? You can start sharing very specific things that allow you to tap into the good nature of all of us. Now, in an economy, there's always somebody with spare capacity. Remember the bakkie, for example, I may be bringing bottles of water from here to Verenichen. I don't know, is that how you said it? To Verenichen, which is, what is it, an hour and a half drive? And then on the way back, I'm empty. So I've got spare capacity. Maybe I have a warehouse which is sitting half empty. Maybe somebody has a space in their office block which is not utilized, but they're paying rent. So if you say, hey, everybody, I need help. We're growing. We need to formalize our business. We're now looking for a bit of space, but don't yet have the money to pay deposit, full rent, and all that. Is there anybody who's got spare capacity in their offices for us? We are a small team of 2-3 people. You see where I'm going? Even laptops. Hi, everybody. We are a digital design agency. We just hired 2 young people, but we don't have the money to buy brand new laptops. Does anybody have refurbished laptops that they're not using? Now you can tap into an economy, a second-hand economy that is enormous. You're sharing what you are struggling with. When you share what you're struggling with, psychologically, what you're doing is you're tapping into the nature of humanity. And we as humans, there's a study that was done years ago, 80% of humans want to help you, want to help each other. But they can't write you a check because you're looking for money. They can't write you a check because you don't know how to start. But they can very easily look around the room and say, oh, you're looking for a spare table and 2 chairs? Well, yeah, I have one in the corner that's been sitting there for 2 years. Come and fetch it. Voila, you just saved yourself a few thousand rand. Well, yeah, actually, I'm upgrading to the next phone. My phone is 4 years old. I don't buy new phones. I am saying, I'm taking lots more pictures than I used to, and this phone is really crap. I'm sorry. This phone is really crap. Does anybody have a phone? Is anybody upgrading to with a new contract and they want to get a bit of cash for their old phones? You can buy a new battery, and then the phone is brilliant. You see where I'm going with this. Also, when you're sharing what you're struggling with, hi, everybody, I am struggling with an order for a client who wants me to put beautiful Ndebele art on 1,000 cups for a big event that they're doing. I'm struggling with finding somebody who is able to print on these. Now, what happens when you're doing that? Again, you're giving them an idea. You're planting the seed of who your clients are, what kind of work you do, and what you do. But you're tapping into their heartstrings. The third thing that you can do is share what you are looking for. So remember, we talked about share what you're working on, share what you are struggling with. And the third thing, which sounds quite, is share what you're looking for. The reason why we share what we're looking for is because we're looking for partnerships. Now, what do I mean with partnerships? All of us are small businesses, right? Most of us are tiny businesses. Some of us are still at the idea phase. There's no way any of us is going to become a large business on our own. Okay? Now forget that. No matter how brilliant or intelligent you are or how much money you are, you need people to partner with. For example, imagine I grow these pots, okay? Not the pots. I grow the plants in my garden and I sell these. Well, I need a pot supplier. Then I need an online shop where to put these pots so that people can buy them. Then I need, who are you as an entrepreneur? What is your core business? My core business is growing plants. I am not in the business of manufacturing pots. I'm not in the business of e-commerce. I'm not in the business of logistics when somebody orders the pots online. I'm not going to go deliver it. If you start doing all of these things, you are going to run into trouble. And the nice thing about today's society is that there are thousands of specialist business who focused exactly on that. And I'll tell you a very cool thing about a friend of mine who started a big fund for startups. And I'll show you exactly how to get the cash based on that model. But my point here is, guys and girls, decide in what business you're in. Decide, be very careful. You remember when I thanked you at the beginning for investing your time into this masterclass today. I said investing with a reason. I said investing because every hour, every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes is money, even if it's not money. Every 15 minutes you invest in something, it's like investing money. So when you invest 15 minutes on something stupid, you're throwing money away. If you do it consciously because you are happy with it or something, fantastic. You've invested it. It's fine sometimes to buy a coffee because you felt like a coffee. But I'm encouraging you to start looking at your time as a scarce resource, meaning a limited resource. There's only so many hours per day you can work intelligently. After that, you're going to be exhausted. There's no way you can be really productive. So I'm inviting you to start thinking of your time like as it was money. Are you going to spend 15 Rand, 15 minutes of your money on that, 30 minutes on that? And the reason why I'm mentioning all this is when you share what you're looking for. Hey, everybody, I am creating these very cool phone covers. I don't know what they are, but I'm in the business of these very cool phone covers that have, I don't know, a Velcro back so people can put it on the wall. I don't know if there's a market for that. But my point here is, okay, that's my business, and I'm looking for shop owners who sell phones to partner up. I have great commissions for you. Or I'm looking for spaza shop owners to put these, or well, whatever the case is. I grow these pots, these plants, and I'm looking for interior design that already sell plants to add these to their collection to support a local entrepreneur. Find partnership, find other businesses you can collaborate to go to market. Non-competing businesses, ideally. Maybe you're a consultant. You consult. There was somebody who posted before, I'll go there just now, but somebody who helps manage social media. Now, maybe that person wants to go to a website development company, a marketing agency. You want to go to other consultants, other organizations that have the kind of clients that you want to sell to. Now, obviously, there comes a lot of complication where, but what if they steal my clients? What if I steal their clients? But these are small things to be concerned about, especially when at the beginning, what's really important is every single rand you can bring in. Because when you bring in clients, when you bring in money, you bring in three things. One, you bring in money, cash flow. Two, you start creating a reputation for yourself. When you open a little Airbnb, bed and breakfast, a little restaurant, a little whatever, and the first clients start coming, people start speaking about it. They start saying, hey, that was actually quite cool. You can start saying, already 10 clients are using my products, my services, my hotel, my whatever, my car sharing. If you are an Uber driver, advertise it. You got 37,000 drives behind you. That's a phenomenal track record. Put it out there. Make it your call to action. Maybe you start getting independent bookings that don't go through a Uber platform so you can keep the commission. This is where I'm talking about. Share what you are looking for. Gives you an opportunity to invite people to collaborate with you. And it's a fine art, and it doesn't always go smoothly. So don't get married on day one with a potential partner. It's the same advice I often give to people who are looking for a business partner. Lucky and York meet for a coffee. We get so excited because we have this brilliant idea, and then we immediately go and start a company together. My suggestion is, just like with a partnership in business, just like with a partnership with a co-founder, don't start on day one. Don't get married on day one. You want to go on a number of dates. You want to get to know each other. People are always happy and get along beautifully when everything is going well, when the excitement phases up. But a year from now, when money isn't materializing as quickly as you hoped, when there's friction, when one partner is not pulling the weight, they're not doing what you expected them to do, when they are not performing like you hoped, or you are not performing, maybe there's a family crisis. This is then when you discover the real nature of the person you partnered in, the real nature of the business you partnered with. That's why I always suggest go on a lot of dates. Publicly, you can be seen as one, but internally, just work on a lot of transactions together until you figure out that working together actually works brilliantly. So, on that note, if you start sharing what you're working on, what you're struggling with, and what you're looking for, you're giving an opportunity for people to start engaging with you. And you can do this on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Twitter is a bit short, so it's a bit more challenging. What I tend to do is on LinkedIn, I write a nice post. Remember the post that I told you about with the project to tackle unemployment in the local municipality? I share it on LinkedIn. I say, this is a project that we're doing, and these are the learnings that we do. The reason why I put learnings is I try to add value in every post to others. You want to post things that add value, not to just add ego. Because ego, everybody wants to be important. Look at your timeline. Look at how many people show how important they are, speaking in a conference with a microphone, being awarded this, being awarded that. And you're probably going, part of you is going, well done to you, but 80% of you is going, this is boring. I learned nothing from watching that post. If you're going to show off something, an achievement, show it off with, hey, everybody, I am really honored to have been given this award or to have been shortlisted for this competition. And these are the 3 things we did to come to this level. And I hope this will help you reach the same level that we did. So, make a post less about you and the ego and more about sharing and knowledge, so that people start thanking you and being grateful and connecting with you. That is the power of moving away from a post that is ego-driven to a post that is value-driven. And I really, really advise you to do that also on Facebook. I understand a lot of us, I'm not just talking Facebook, your Facebook page for your company. I'm talking your personal Facebook profile page. I understand a lot of us are using Facebook for personal reason, but you're an entrepreneur. You don't have time to use valuable resources like Facebook to share crap, to share nonsense, to share stupid little things or conspiracy theories or political views, unless you're absolutely passionate and you really feel you need to. Keep things a little bit more to yourself. You're a brand. You know that. I'm sure you've heard it many times. What you share on Facebook, on your personal page, says something about you to me. Now, I have seen many people that I want to work with, young people, phenomenal young people from rural areas. They say, York, I'm so excited. I really would like to be part of a startup tribe and so forth. They add me on Facebook because that's what you, I guess, do. And when I look at their posts on Facebook, and they are sexist, they are womanizing, they are stupid about, and I know they don't mean it. That's not who they are. Just because you share silly things doesn't mean you're a silly person. But what does it say about you to people who want to work with you? Every post, everything you share is a statement about you. Guys, I'll show you something. Status updates on WhatsApp. First, change your WhatsApp from a personal WhatsApp to a business WhatsApp. It doesn't cost you any money. It's Google it. There's tons of free YouTube clips. But business WhatsApp is 30 times more powerful than personal WhatsApp for an entrepreneur. You can send auto replies. You can schedule WhatsApp status updates. You can categorize people into prospects, into suppliers, into friends, into family, so that you can send distribution messages to a group of people. So prospects, did you know that we have a special this week only for Black Monday, 80% off? And you don't have to create. So it's very powerful. So I'm just giving you a tip there. But even WhatsApp status updates is an opportunity to sell. Hey, for example, if let's say I'm going back to the analogy of me growing these plants, right? I can take a selfie now. So I'll take a selfie just to give you an example. There we go. And I take a selfie of me with my plant saying, hey, do you know, here's one tip to keeping your plants green, to making them last longer, or to use less water, or this is how you save money. I can do funny things, do a memo while you're eating the plant. It doesn't have to be serious. Make it fun, engaging. Use it again to share what you are working on. Tebazzo is sitting in a cool space with a background. You know how many times he could use his WhatsApp status and Instagram to show off the work that they do and how organized they are and how many people are for people to start to get to know the kind of things and that they supply, their service, and so forth. So use opportunities to use your social media to generate leads, to create a brand. Get away from posting stupid pictures. Get away from sharing content that doesn't add value, guys. Use your social media. Yes, it's okay to share a beautiful picture of your children or of your nieces or the fact that you were out with friends, but then use it intelligently to add value to people, to make people start to think, oh, wow, Lucky is such a nice guy. I really engage with you. I really believe. I really like his approach to life. I really want to follow him. When people start following you, you start creating a community, and selling to a community, to people who believe in you, is much easier than cold selling. Nobody spends 500 Rand out of the blue on something they don't know anything about, they don't trust, and they don't know the owner, and they don't know if a product is the right fit. I'll talk about the sales methodology just now. So guys, we got the last 30 minutes. I want to invite you to really also, when you share things, to really share them beautifully. Remember what I said, beautiful image, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, beautiful image, a little bit about what you're doing and what you learn so that others can learn from it. And then hashtags, do a couple of hashtags. And then hopefully people start looking at you and commenting. Let's say who else is on the call? Refilwe or Chepo, or you see a comment from me, and you you see a post from me, and you comment below and you say, York, thanks very much for sharing. Really interesting. Get away from sharing that kind of comment, guys. What you want to start sharing, what you want to comment on, is comment on, York, I really like the post you did on the Modimolle township, on how you're trying to tackle unemployment in the entrepreneurship, by introducing entrepreneurship in Modimolle. It's interesting, we worked on a similar project in Diepsloot or in Alexandria, it doesn't matter where. My point here is I want you to use your commenting on other people's posts as an opportunity to showcase. Now, don't be cheap about this. Don't just plug your services. Just appreciate it, thank them, show them why it was relevant, move away. What happens is York likes when somebody comments on his post. So York will look at yours, will definitely like it. And maybe I will write, well, thank you very much for your great comments. Really interesting. I actually would love to chat a little bit more, or here's a resource. Now, you start creating a conversation, we create a bond. Now you're not just somebody who comments, you are lucky. No, not lucky, you're lucky the person who I want to start a conversation with. Now, here's a cool thing. What most people don't realize is the algorithm of LinkedIn and Facebook are built not on the posts. They're built on the comment's relevancy. When I comment on your post, what you don't know is what I'm doing is getting the algorithm of LinkedIn to promote first in my network the post plus my comment. So people see, oh, you're commented on somebody's post. It creates more visibility. The second thing is, this is cool. When you comment, let's say on my post on my LinkedIn profile, and try it today. Find a post, comment on it, say, oh, this is really interesting, or thanks very much for sharing this, or yeah, this is something I've been struggling for a while. And I'll comment back. What actually happens is LinkedIn notifies my network, which is almost 20,000 people, and tells them, hey, York just commented on Lucky's post, or on Lucky's comment, or he just replied to Lucky's comment. I'm giving you free publicity. Isn't that cool? I'm giving you publicity and visibility and top of mind to thousands of people in my network. That's a little trick that you can do to start getting your engagement, your foot in the door of many other networks. Imagine you are trying to sell your tomatoes to somebody who does to supply chain for groceries. Well, start commenting on the person's posts, saying, listen, I really love this initiative. Don't be cheap. Don't be too pushy. But start saying, hey, my name is Joy. I really love York's supply chain suggestion. I'm actually currently struggling in selling my tomatoes that I grow at the back of my house. And your post really helped me. Now, York goes, Joy, really? You're growing tomatoes? Tell me a little bit more. What's the quantity? What's the quality? But what I'm pointing is I'm starting a conversation with her that allows us to start selling. And please, Sam, start taking questions. I've got tons of other things, but I'm not going to go through all of them. What I'm really encouraging you is remember everything that you do has a cost, is an investment. So to summarize, while you can start writing questions. 1, rebrand yourself around what you solve, okay? 2, use what you solve and you put it into your email signature. There's a lot of free tools, WiseStamp, for example, .com, or many others where you can create emails, nice, cool looking email signatures. Every email signature, everything has to call to action. Then, so you have a statement about what you solve, the call to action, maybe what you're passionate about in your email signature. Then you go to canva.com and create a Canva for a LinkedIn banner, for a Facebook banner, for Google, for Google Maps, for Facebook, and so forth. Then start posting and sharing what you're working on, what you're looking for, and what you're struggling with. Always put a bit of effort. Put a little bit of effort. Do a post every 3 days. Don't do 10 posts a day. Every 3 days, put a beautiful image. And the formula is, I recently was doing a project, or I'm planning to do a project with this to solve this. And these are the 3 things that I would advise other people who are doing similar work or clients in that space. We recently helped the home reduce the energy consumption. If you're also struggling with high electricity bills, here's 3 things you can look at. I'm selling without selling directly. Now, last point about sales. Nobody is going to land on your page, your Facebook page, your WhatsApp. And by the way, that's why I was saying WhatsApp business. Make your call to action go straight to your phone. You don't do selling something online, but even if you're selling something online, make them go to your phone, spend 1 minute going, oh, Joy, really, you're interested in my phone covers? That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Let me send you a link where you can buy them. You're going to make it really hard for Joy not to buy because I made it personal. So Joy is now in a horrible situation where I've put her on the spot. I've thanked her from the bottom of my heart, and she feels terrible for not now buying this 70 Rand cover or whatever the thing is. You want to create the bond. Do you guys know a film called The Wolf of Wall Street? It's a horrible film in the sense it's a wonderful film, but the film is about somebody who steals money. But he cons people into buying things. And he's always said, there's a spectrum. People either is no or yes to your product and services. Don't go after the no. The no's, leave them. But anybody just a little bit away from the no, you only have to do 5 things to get them to a yes. Now you can Google the YouTube, watch them. But my point here is this, and I don't remember all of them, but the one thing, do I believe their product? Like, my plants can last 10,000 years. Really? Your plants will never last 10,000 years. In my house, the plants don't last a week. 2, is the person behind, do I believe in the person behind the product? Do you know at this stage of your business, people believe in you, not your business. They know that you're a startup. So if you're asking somebody to bet R1 million on you, they're going to be scared. But you say, listen, you buy these cups, they're amazing. I use them myself. I produce them at home. And if they break, I will replace them for you. There's no risk. You're buying however much a cup costs, 60 Rand. I love the fact that MC is actually in the car and watching this from a car. That was too funny. And so the third thing is the product right for me? And that comes to the problem statement that you make. And then I forgot the other 2. So you're not moving anybody from getting to a yes. Nobody lands and buys. You got to get land and then hook them in, and then they get to a yes. When you hook them in, they're going to become brand ambassador. They're going to become your biggest fans. That is why I failed a number of businesses, but people believed in York. They believed in what I stand for, which is to make an impact, to make a difference. So when I fail a business, I'm very honest about it. I said, guys, I didn't manage a cash flow. I couldn't grow, blah, blah, blah. I failed it. I had to shut it. Here's my lessons. I am so sorry to everybody. I'm now going to try my second round, and voila. And then people come and they buy into me.